Hello dear students, in last class we already discussed refractive index of a material of a prism in terms of a minimum angle of a deviation and angle of a prism. So today we will discuss about continuous parts. Okay, so here angle of, you already know that a refractive index in terms of a minimum angle of a deviation and angle of a prism. Okay, so here the formula. So before going to this formula, here, so this one is a prism and this one is a incident ray, and this light ray is a refracted as, so this one is a refracted ray, and this light ray is emergent from this mirror. Okay, and here if you consider that a normal for two refracting surface. Okay, so this one is a angle of a prism, and here we consider that this one is a Q and this one is a P and this one is a S. Okay, and here X, Y, Z. XY is the first refracting surface, XZ is a second refracting surface, and YZ we consider that a base of a prism. YZ is a base of a prism, and here we consider that a two normals. Okay, and here, so this one is the angle of incident. So this angle of incident we consider that a I1, and this one we consider that a I2. Yes, and here, so this angle we consider that angle of refraction. So this angle is R1 and this one is angle of incident for a second surface. So this one is a R2. Yes, you already know that these things. Okay, so here whenever angle of incidence goes on increases, then angle of deviation decreases. Here angle of deviation means so this one we consider that a extended incident ray. Okay, and this one is a refracted ray. Extended incident ray and this one is a refracted ray. The angle between extended incident ray and a refracted ray, so this angle we consider that a angle of deviation. Yes, another one we consider that here, so this one is a extended incident ray for a second surface and this one is refracted ray for second surface. Yes, so this ray we consider that emergent ray, but for second surface, so this one is a refracted ray. Okay, and this angle we consider that angle of deviation D2, then a total angle of deviation. So total angle of deviation, so this one is extended incident ray, and this one we consider that a emergent ray. Okay, first angle of deviation, so total angle of deviation we consider that D is equal to D1. It means so this one is angle of deviation and a second angle of deviation, so this one we consider that a D2. So this reason, so total angle of deviation D is equal to D1 plus D2. You already know these things. Okay, and here suppose when angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation goes on decreases at a certain value. For example, here angle of incidence goes on increases. So this angle of incidence goes on increases. I1 value increases. When I1 value increases, so angle of deviation, so this angle of deviation goes on decreases. Here we consider that one graph. Along x-axis we consider that incident, angle of incident. Along y-axis we consider that angle of deviation. Angle of deviation. Along x-axis angle of incident, along y-axis angle of deviation. So this one we consider that a D. Okay, and here, so this one is a I. The first concept, when angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation decreases. Here, so this one is a initial angle of incidence. Here we consider that this one is a angle of deviation. Is when angle of incidence goes on increases, when angle of incidence goes on increases, so angle of deviation decreases at a certain value. It means at a minimum value. Then afterwards, again angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation increases. Initially, when angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation decreases. Then afterwards, again angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation increases. Okay, so here, when angle of incidence increases, then angle of deviation decreases at a certain value. Then afterwards, again angle of incidence increases, then what happens? So angle of deviation value increases. Okay, so this angle of deviation, we consider that a minimum angle of deviation. Okay, so this one is a minimum angle of deviation. Yes. So this one is angle of incidence, initial angle of incidence, and this one we consider that final angle of incident. Okay, and here, so this minimum angle of deviation, so here I1 is equal to I2. Why I1 is equal to I2? So here we want a minimum angle of deviation. So this refracted ray, parallel to the base. Okay, for example, here, so this one is a base. Okay, and here we consider that normals. Angle of this one is incident ray, refracted ray, emergent ray. We want a minimum angle of deviation. So angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergent. So this emergent, we consider that angle of refraction for a second surface. Okay, so here we want minimum angle of deviation. It means, so this refracted ray parallel to the base of a prism, then only we get a minimum angle of deviation. Is in this condition, I1 is equal to I2. Then if I1 is equal to I2, then what happen? What about this angle of refraction? R1 here, and this one is R2. Yes, so when I1 is equal to I2, then R1 is equal to R2. Yes, if we consider that I1 is equal to I2, then angle of refraction R1 is equal to R2. So this one we consider that this angle of incident for a second surface. Okay, I1 is equal to I2, then R1 is equal to R2. So this one we consider that a minimum angle of deviation. Okay. Next concept. Angle of deviation means it is angle between extended incident ray and refracted ray. So this one we consider that angle of deviation. Minimum angle of deviation condition. So refracted ray is parallel to the base of a prism. So here we get I1 is equal to I2. When I1 is equal to I2, then here we get R1 is equal to R2. So this one is a minimum angle of deviation. Okay, then angle of deviation in terms of prism. Angle of deviation in terms of angle of prism. Okay, so we already know that angle of a prism, it means here we consider that a thin prism. So thin prism, it means, so this angle of a prism is equal to the 10 degree. Yes, So angle of prism we consider that a 10 degree. So that's one is a thin angle of a prism. Okay, so here we want a expression for deviation due to thin prism. Expression for deviation due to thin prism. So here we consider that thin prism. We want a angle of a deviation. Expression for angle of a deviation. So A we consider that a angle of a thin prism. Okay, so here we already know that a formula. It means a refractive index mu is equal to, it means a refractive index, it means a, so this one is a refractive index of a prism. Okay, is equal to sine of angle of deviation plus A divided by 2 whole divided by sine A by 2. Okay, so this D we consider that a minimum angle of deviation. Okay, so here in a derivation, so D angle of deviation, so this D we consider that a capital D. Okay, D is equal to D. Okay, so here refractive index of a material of a prism is equal to sine angle of deviation plus angle of a prism divided by 2 whole divided by sine angle of a prism divided by 2. Okay, so this one is a formula. We already derived this derivation. Okay, next one here in a thin prism. In a thin prism, A value is nearly about, we consider that a 10 degree. A means a angle of a prism. It means angle of prism is a very small. Angle of prism is very small. Then what happened? So sine theta nearly equal to theta. Sine theta nearly equal to theta. So this reason, so refractive index of a material of a prism is equal to, so sine theta nearly equal to theta. Why? Because thin prism. It means, so angle of a prism is very small. Okay, so refractive index of material of a prism is equal to D plus A divided by 2 whole divided by angle of a prism divided by 2. Refractive index of material of a prism. Okay, so refractive index of a material of a prism is equal to angle of deviation plus angle. It means angle of deviation plus angle of a prism divided by 2 whole divided by angle of prism divided by 2. Okay, so 2 get cancelled. Then we will get M is equal to angle of deviation plus A divided by A. So here, so cross multiplication, angle of prism into refractive index is equal to angle of deviation plus angle of a prism. Okay, so here angle of a deviation. So angle of a deviation D is equal to A into mu minus A. Yes, so mu we consider that a refractive index of a material of a prism. Okay, so this one here we consider that angle of a deviation D is equal to, take A common, A into refractive index of material of a prism minus 1. Okay, so this one is a deviation of a thin prism. Expression for deviation of a thin prism. D is equal to A into mu minus 1. So this mu means a refractive index of a prism. A means angle of a prism. So angle of prism, so generally here we consider that so that's one is a 10 degree. Why? Because here we consider that a thin prism. Okay, so this reason, so this angle of a deviation depends upon refractive index of a material of a prism and the angle of a deviation. Yes. So this reason angle of deviation is directly proportional to the refractive index of a material of a prism. It means D directly proportional to refractive index of a material of a prism. And this angle of a prism, angle of a deviation is inversely proportional to the wavelength of a light. Inversely proportional to the wavelength of a light. So angle of deviation directly proportional to the refractive index of material of a prism and inversely proportional to the wavelength of a light. Suppose refractive index of material of a prism increases, then what happen? Angle of deviation is also increases. When incident ray wavelength, otherwise we consider that when wavelength of a light increases, then deviation value decreases. So this reason here we consider that two light rays. So here you already know that a spectrum is in a spectrum. Here we consider that 7 colors. Okay, so here we consider that only 2 colors. One is red, another one is a violet. Why here we consider that a red and a violet? Because red light ray having a maximum wavelength. So red color light having maximum wavelength and violet having a minimum wavelength. Okay, we just a comparison between wavelength and a deviation of a light. Yes, so wavelength and deviation. So here we consider that two light rays, one is red, another one is a violet. Why? Because red having a maximum wavelength, violet having a minimum wavelength. Okay, so this reason here whenever the light passes through the prism, yes, so this one is incident ray and a normal and a refracted ray and a normal, and here we get a emergent ray. Okay, whenever light passes through the prism, afterwards, so this light ray is emerge out. Okay, so here we get 7 constituents colors. Weeb-Jahr. Yes, 7 constituents color. Okay, so here we mainly consider that 2 lights. So one is red color, another one is it means 2 bands. One is red band, it means a red color, another one is a violet color. Okay, so here we get 7 constituents colors. 7 constituents color. So last one we consider that violet, and here we consider that a red. Yes, you already know that deviation is directly proportional to refractive index of material of a prism and inversely proportional to the wavelength of a light. Okay, red having a maximum wavelength, red color having maximum wavelength, and violet color having a minimum wavelength. Which one having a maximum wavelength? Which color of a light having a maximum wavelength? So that color of a light bend minimum. Why? Because inversely proportional. So red color having a maximum wavelength, so this reason it's bend minimum. Suppose if we consider that a violet color having a small wavelength. Yes, so this reason, so violet color bend maximum. Why? Because so wavelength is inversely proportional to the deviation. Suppose the refractive index of a material of a prism increases. Refractive index of a material of a prism increases, then angle of deviation is also increases. When wavelength increases, then angle of deviation value decreases. Yes. Our next concept, so here suppose a refractive index. Here we consider that this one is a prism, it's having a particular refractive index. Okay, so here we consider that mu g is a refractive index of a glass, of a material of a prism. Okay, when a refractive index of a glass is greater than refractive index of a medium. Yes, refractive index of a glass is greater than refractive index of a medium. Then this refracted light ray bend towards the base of a prism. Yes, so here, so this one is a prism, and incident ray, and this one is a normal. Okay, when refractive index of a material of a prism is a maximum, then what happens? So this refracted light ray is bend towards the normal. Bend towards the normal. Suppose refractive index of a glass of a material of a prism is less than the refractive index of a medium. Yes, then what happened here? So this refracted light rays bend away from the normal. Yes, here, so this one is a incident ray and a normal here. So this light ray bend away from the normal. Yes, suppose refractive index of material of a prism greater than refractive index of a medium, then what happens? So this refracted light ray bend towards the base. Okay, suppose refractive index of a material of a prism is less than the refractive index of a medium, then what happens? So this refracted light rays bend away from the normal, so towards the normal, away from the normal. Yes, next concept, suppose here we consider that refractive index. So refractive index of a prism is mu2 and suppose, okay, here refractive index of a material of a prism is mu-z and refractive index of a surrounding. So refractive index of a surrounding, here we consider that mu a. It means, so this one is a medium. Okay, so this reason here we consider that refractive index of a glass with respect to air is equal to refractive index of a glass of a prism divided by refractive index of a medium. Yes, so why here we consider that A means a surrounding, we consider that a air media. So this reason, so refractive index of a prism, or we consider that refractive index of a glass with respect to air is equal to refractive index of a glass divided by refractive index of a medium is equal to sine angle of deviation plus angle of prism divided by 2 whole divided by sine angle of prism divided by 2. Yes, so here we consider that refractive index of a glass with respect to air or refractive index of a glass with respect to medium. Okay, another one concept here. You already know that grazing angle. Yes, so grazing angle of incidence. So grazing angle of incidence, it means, suppose here we consider that this one is a prism. Okay, and here we consider that this one is a normal. Suppose the angle of incidence or incident ray, suppose incident ray, so this one is a incident ray. So this incident ray parallel to the first refracting surface. It means along the refracting surface, So this one is a grazing angle of incidence. Okay, so this angle of incidence we consider that I is equal to 90 degree. Then now here, so light ray is refracted, then afterwards emergent. Suppose here grazing angle of emergent, we want a grazing angle of emergent, it means incident ray, and this one is a refracted ray, this one we consider that refracted ray, and here we get emergent ray. So this emergent ray is present along the second refracting surface, and this angle we consider that 90 degree. So this one is a 90 degree. Suppose for grazing angle of incidence. It means I1 value we consider that a 90 degree. Okay, so grazing angle of emergent ray, so that's one is I2 is equal to 90 degree. Yes, so this one is a grazing angle of incidence. So grazing angle of incidence, so angle of incidence we consider that 90 degree, and a grazing angle of emergent ray, it means I2 value here we consider that 90 degree. Yes.